Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are at Tea Time with Melissa Freeman. And the topic we have today is the art of romance. But we have been so excited that we have some special guests with us. We always say special because they are. We have the stewards with us today. All right, so stewards, Felicia Stewart and David Stewart, for those who don't know. Yes, Team Stewart. So because we're talking about the art of romance, and I know that, Felicia, you already answered this question, but for those who maybe did not watch the last episode, we still want to keep them on track of the things that we talked about. So I want you both to answer, how important is romance to you from 1 to 5? 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest.
I would say 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and I said 5 the last time.
You said 5 the last time. All right. So the good thing is you're both on the same page as how important you think romance is. And I'll just quickly share what I said. I said that it was a 4. And my reason for saying it was a 4 because I feel like there are other things that's more important than romance. Not that romance is not important, but I looked at romance as something that's needed, but also it's not top priority. Like, you know, like I gave communication a 5 because I'm like, that's so important.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now that we have that out the way, I just want to say to those who are listening that the purpose of the show is to help you and ourselves enhance romance in our marriage. Okay. So listen, we're just going to open up with a toast. And y'all have y'all mugs, right?
Yes.
All right. Everybody knows tea time. All right. And who would like to? Does your mug say hubby? Oh, look at that. Put it closer. That's cute.
So mine says wifey.
Wifey. Uh-huh.
His says hubby.
That's awesome. I love that. I got to get something like that. Okay, so we're going to do a quick toast. And let's get a volunteer to open us up with a toast today.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink yours. You're gonna drink mine.
All right. I guess we're drinking each other's cup today. What you gonna say
okay.
first?
This is to my beautiful wife, someone that I love so dearly. I wouldn't trade her for nothing in the world. And she's the part of my heart. She's not half of my heart. She's my whole heart. This is the reason why I breathe. I love you, baby.
I don't know how this is gonna work, but
That's awesome. Let the love flow. Let the love flow. Let it flow. Okay. Y'all are ready. Y'all set the tone. All right. So before we dive right in, I just want to quickly introduce this book, Destined to Win. Yes, it is out, people. It's 20 authors. I am one of the authors. It's amazing. The book is so amazing from beginning to end. And in my chapter, I talk about relationships and I talk about marriage tips, nuggets, things that sometimes people are a little uncomfortable talking about. So go get the book. I will make sure that the information is in the description box. Okay, so listen, romance. In our first episode, we're in our 3rd episode now. So in our first episode, we talked about romance as a feeling that's excitement associated with love. And we kind of dug deep, pulling on that definition that what it does is it wakes up your senses, and your senses are sight, hear, taste, touch, smell. So it just like pulls on those senses so that it tells your mind, your senses tell your mind that now you're being romanced. And that's what romance means to every individual. So we also made it very clear that romance can look different for each person. Everyone does not look at romance the same. And then we've also made it clear that romance is not just what happens in the bedroom. Romance is what happens, everything else under the sun before it even gets to the bedroom. That is so essential in making that, for men, the final destination happen. So I want to throw it back on you all. And I want you to just think about one time that your spouse was romantic and just say why. So kind of try to describe the senses and why you were feeling the way you felt. You can take a minute to think.
I have to think. I guess I can say recently, David bought me a dozen roses and a box of chocolate. You know, I love chocolate. And so he bought those for me maybe about 2 weeks ago.
Awesome. Did he have it set up at a certain place? Was it on the bed? Was it when you first walked in? Set the
we put it on the
scene for us.
kitchen. We put it on the kitchen table.
Oh, okay. So when you first come in, I'm assuming that you go to the kitchen table because Mel goes there and things of that nature. Okay, so that's the first thing you saw. You're like, oh, okay. So you really felt like you were on his mind. And he got you the things that you liked.
Right.
Awesome.
And for her, it's the way she caresses me, the way she touches me, the way she looks at me. But she also buys me things that I like also. And she bought me an outfit, you know. But I did the romance from her has been she cooks dinner and she, you know what I mean, we sit there together and eat. And then when she just looks into my eyes and then when she touches me, she only just touches me with her hand, she touches me with her heart.
All right. I like the way you said that. She doesn't just touch me with her hand, she touches me with her heart. Oh.
She does.
Okay. So I'm hearing sight, I'm hearing touch from you, David, that is, you would say your love language or your romance language. That is something that makes you feel like you're being romanced, and that's awesome. So it's good that you can identify the moments that you felt you were being romanced, because then you can tell your spouse the things you like. But then also just hearing it right now for you two, it also will remind you later, like, oh, she really liked this or he really liked that. And so I should do more of that, right?
Yeah.
So it's important that when we talk about romance, we also talk about romance for that individual. Because what romance can be for this couple is totally different for another couple. So I wanted us to do something quick. I'm not going to keep you long today. I kind of just wanted to throw out some information and some nuggets and have some fun today. So y'all ready to have some fun? All right. Woo! So listen, what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a challenge. Are you up for a challenge?
Yeah.
Challenge.
So the challenge is, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to create whatever it is you want to create that represents romance. And remember, we said romance is senses, so it can literally be anything. I don't want you to think about the things that maybe the world has told us romance is, because we also discussed that the things that we see in movies, for many people, that's not romance and it's not realistic. It's not the real world. So there are other things that you can do to show romance. And so I don't want you to stay stuck in a little box feeling like this is romance because the world has said it. The movies have shown that. The TV shows have shown that. But think outside of this box that the world has given us and think about your spouse and what you can do to help them feel romance right now. And you only have 3 minutes.
That's not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time. Yeah, I'm happy you said that. I was waiting for someone to be like, how come not 10 minutes? What are you doing to us? But 3 minutes, because what I also want to show those who are watching is that many times when you think romance, you think you have to spend a lot of money. You think that you have to go out and buy something. You often don't think about the tangible things you already have in your house that you can use to create that scene or that feel of romance. And so I want the people, especially during this pandemic, to know that you can do other things. Never be limited to, I don't have money, or we can't go out to eat, or there's other things you can do. So this challenges you to think about that and expand on what the world has considered romance to be. All right, so you all ready?
Ready.
All right, go for it.
Well, honey, you know.
All right, and we are back. It has been 3 minutes. I'm excited to see what you all have for us. I know it probably was nerve-wracking and you had to like really challenge yourself mentally because this was a challenge, but I'm excited to see what you have. So whoever wants to go first, go for it.
There I go. Honey, I know you like flowers and roses, and I always thought roses was beautiful until I met you. So this is a token of you and me as giving the flowers. But you are what I breathe. You also are a token of my heart. I give you my heart, not half of my whole.
Can you show us that heart?
And I just want you to know you are my everything. And I love you, and that's one reason why you are Mrs. Stewart. I didn't love you then, I didn't love you now, I love you forever. Then, now, and forever, and always. I love you.
Oh, that is so sweet. Now, David, can you just show us the heart? Oh, and so this was stuff you already had in your house, right?
Yes.
And so you definitely used words of affirmation, and you gave her confirmation that you loved her. And so sometimes it's like that little stuff, like you don't have to run out and get stuff. Like you already have stuff in your house. I'm sure you have a display full of like things that you brought home after your wedding or pictures you took. Like you can always use something and tie it in with words of affirmation. So I just love that. Like that's awesome. And I don't know if you noticed your wife's face as you were talking, that it made her feel good. And remember we said the feeling of excitement associated with love. So like you definitely accomplished that. And that's awesome. How did you feel about that, Felicia?
Special.
She felt special.
Because I guess sometimes, at least with men, they don't always tell you how they feel, or continue to let you know that they love you or how much you mean to them. Versus women, we're constantly telling our mates that we love them or how much they mean to us. So men don't always tend to say it. So that made me feel special.
Yeah, so it made her feel special, David. And I don't know if you heard her, but she said men don't always say it. So I would say more of that to make sure that romance is taking place in your marriage, okay? Sometimes you got to read in between the lines.
That's the nugget. I love you, baby. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Say it every day. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. She's like, all right, that's enough. That's enough. Slow down. Slow down. All right. And what do you have for us, Felicia? What do you have for him, I should say?
So I went online real quick and found a poem, and it says, "My husband has made me laugh, wiped my tears, hugged me tight, watched me succeed, see me fail, kept me strong. He is a promise that I will have a friend forever. I love you always." So I figured I'd get something because he's always been supportive in everything that I'm doing, whether it's work-wise or even for church-wise. He's always been supportive. He's always been there. So I just want to tell him that I thank him and I appreciate him and I love him.
Oh, that's so sweet. And you took the time to print it out. So now y'all got to put that someplace. I like that. Awesome. And you can see like on the screen, you both have smiles from ear to ear. And that's what romance is all about. And you didn't go out and spend money. You only had 3 minutes to think of something. So if we could try to channel our mind to thinking, let me take 2 or 3 minutes out of my day to romance my husband or my wife, or give them something that's going to put a smile on their face, that's what continues the romance in marriage. So that was awesome. You guys definitely were up for the challenge today. I can't say anything but like A+. Great job.
Okay.
Okay, so I had sent a kit over for you all. Do you have the kit?
Yes.
All right, so this kit, first, before you even take everything out and show it, I want to say this kit only costs $10.
Okay.
$10. But this is a kit that you can use at any time. I know that when you see some of the things come out, you'll feel like, oh, this looks more like things you can use to set the scene in the bedroom. But I want to give you some other tips, and the people who are watching, some other tips. When you are married, you can also use everything in this bag to set up a romantic scene in the bathroom, the tub. You can use it like your poem. You did a beautiful poem, right? You could have taken that poem and put it on the wall and set the scene, or put it on the table and set the scene with the poem. So when they read it, the scene already looks romantic. You could use this kit to set up your dinner table before you eat, so that when you come to sit down, it's already giving that aroma of, we're not just eating today. This is not a typical day, but we want to tie in some romance tonight. And then also, like, you can use the kit if you go on a picnic. Put out a nice long blanket, and you can use these things for that as well. So I just wanted to give you a couple more tips, because sometimes when people see certain things, they have in their mind bedroom. And remember, we're trying to change the channel from just bedroom to everything else that you do together can be romantic. All right, so $10. Pull out everything and show the people what it is.
Okay. So I got a bottle of ginger ale.
You'll see why you have the bottle of ginger ale in a minute.
Okay. We have glass candles.
Glass candles. Can you show what it says on the top?
Sure. So, it says Mr. and Mrs.
You want to show it?
So this one says Mrs. And then this one says to. And then, I'm sorry, that first one said Mr. This one says Mrs.
Okay,
so
I can barely see it.
It says Mr. to Mrs. That's what it says.
So, like, literally identifying, this is going to be romantic. You're my wife, you're my husband. Awesome. What else do you have in the bag? So you got 3 candles, some ginger ale.
Okay. A bunch of flowers.
Some nice flowers. And those flowers match your candles.
Yeah, they do.
They match your shirt too. They match your shirt.
Everything matches my shirt.
Yeah, match your flowers. Nice.
Okay. Oh, so this is a bag of rose petals.
Rose petals, yes. And notice I didn't pick red.
Right, you got white.
I got white because
everyone thinks. Get white?
Why did you get white?
So I got white because many people, when they associate love, they associate it with the color red. And white also represents like purity.
Purity, okay.
And your marriage is pure. And when you're romancing, however you decide to romance, it's a pure, ordained, you say tradition, or something that God has given couples who are married. So I could have chose red, but red is so typical. It's so like, right? So I was just like white, because white represents to me more than what red represents.
We do have some red ones that I got. I got to start using them again.
Okay, all right now.
Okay, so now we got some glasses.
Some glasses. You got 2 nice glasses. And so that is why you have the ginger ale. We don't drink. We don't drink liquor. We don't drink wine. We don't. Right. So ginger ale, right? You can funky it up with doing some ginger ale or some like apple cider, sparkling cider. And it's just, the glasses look romantic, so.
Cherry in it with an orange on the side with a little straw.
Exactly. You can get a little creative. All right, David.
I'm ready.
So this is another candle. It's called Iris.
Yes, and it smells so good. Did you smell it?
Yeah, it's really nice. Let's smell it. It seems like it's really calming and gets you in the mood.
Yes.
And then we have ribbon. It says Mr. and Mrs. And so what would we use this for?
So you can use that for so many things. After we show everything, I'm going to show you some displays that I did by using that. And I literally, obviously I won't have everything that you have that I've given you. I'll just have the ribbon and candles and like the rose petals, but I'll show you how you can use that ribbon.
So you got tic-tac. Make sure your breath is fresh.
Sure. Make sure, people, your breath is fresh. Right? So yes, some mints. We need some mints. So that's
it.
And at the bottom, you'll just see some more rose
At the
petals.
bottom, just more white red petals.
Yes.
Did you put in the bottom?
Yes. And I did that because I wanted to make sure you had more than enough. Because sometimes you're like, this wasn't enough. Although they give you a lot, sometimes you feel like you want more. So like I said, you can use this kit in any scene that you desire. And then I also wanted to give you both something because you all have been on this journey from episode 1 of The Art of Romance. So now we're on episode 3, and I'm like, oh, they really deserve, like y'all been doing y'all thing, so y'all really deserve something. And then I also want to support the romance in your marriage. All right, so I'm going to show my screen, and I'm going to show you some of what I did. Let's see. So that's one. Can you see it?
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
That's for the table. That's literally just the table. And you see the ribbon? I just put the ribbon around the candle, 2 roses, put some rose petals out, the glasses. So if me and my husband wanted to have a nice romantic dinner, I also have these things where I can do it. Okay. So that's just one example. Let's get some other examples. So this is a nice scene for example, you printed out that poem. This would be perfect if you placed it right here in this empty spot.
Okay.
Right, and then had maybe some kind of apple sparkling cider right there. And so when he first came in, it's like, oh, she's thinking about me, right? So you see how like it sets the scene, although it's not a lot. And to be honest with you, my package that I have was only $2.50.
Okay.
I spent more on you all. So like the kits can be used for many things. That's just an up close one, just so you can see the Mr. and Mrs. And that is just me. So you see the Mr. and Mrs. up here too?
Yeah.
You can use it as just like throwing it across your table that you're gonna eat at, or in that case, I just threw it across that little small table, but then I also added my own candle. That's the candle I had at home, and I just lit it. So you can also add your own things to this kit. Don't feel limited to just the kit. And I got this picture off of the internet because sometimes you feel like you need a lot of things, like we already discussed. But if you have a lot of roses or rose petals, you can like make a path leading your wife or your husband to where you want them to go. Whether it's the end is they read a poem, the end is you bought them a gift, but it leads them to whatever it is you want to lead them to. And so that's just a good idea you can use with the rose petals. All right, so
awesome.
Yeah, and remember, I didn't even have half as much as what you all have in that bag. But I just wanted to show like how you can literally utilize these things that are not expensive and still create a romantic scene. And here's the plus, you can use it over and over and over again in different ways. So you don't feel like you always have to run out the house to get something new. What are your thoughts on the kit?
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna use mine this weekend.
I'm gonna hold him to it. I'm
gonna use it this weekend. And I'm gonna take a picture so you can see it.
Yes, I would love that. Take a picture so we can see it. But the kit is for you all. Enjoy it. Just appreciate when you all come on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And so we're gonna end with a toast, and then actually let's do one takeaway. Let's do one takeaway, and then we'll end with a toast. Just think for 1 minute. What's one takeaway after hearing everything, after seeing the kit, after having the challenge, one thing that you took away that maybe you didn't think of or did not know before?
Well, I took away that romance doesn't necessarily have to do with a lot of money. You can, if you just think outside of the box, you can create your own romantic scene, whether it's for the bedroom, for the dinner table, or if it's just to show your husband or your wife that they mean so much to you. I got that takeaway. You don't have to spend money all the time.
Nice.
Yes, I would bank off that too. But I take away, I just got to say that I got to pay more attention to, you know, what she likes. I got to pay more attention to how I put emphasis into doing something to show romance. Like you said, you don't need a lot. It's just how you do it and when you do it.
That's right. Awesome. So that's great. I'm happy you took something away. Let us raise our glasses. And today, because we only have the stewards on, which is like perfect, we're going to give a toast to the stewards. All right. So we just want to say that we are thankful that you're here, one, but we hope and we pray that romance will rest and rule in your marriage and that it will continue until God calls you to be with him.
Yeah.
Awesome. And last but not least, as always, go out and get the book, Destined to Win.
The book, we got the book.
They got the book.
Don't just get it, read it.
Exactly.
Read it. And I will put all the information in the description box, and you can just go ahead, you click on the link that I give, you find this book, Destined to Win, and then you click on my name, which is the author, Melissa Freeman, and purchase your book. All right, so that is the end of our show. I am just so happy that you all were able to join today. And you both like are awesome every time you come on. Like, you are always up for a challenge. You're always open to saying your thoughts, and that's what's going to help other marriages. Like, not holding everything and keeping it to yourself, but sharing the things that we know and the things that we learned. Mm-hmm. All right, so until next time, because there will be a next time, I will see you later.
Bye.
Okay, good night.
See you guys.
Thank you. All right,